We interview everyday people like yourself that uplift and empower, shifting the narrative of news from a traditional negative experience to more impactful.
Yes, it's nice to meet you as well. The first thing I wanted to ask you is, so I saw on the Go Campaign website, that's where I found you first. And I saw that you did work with, or not work, but your best friend when you were a teenager was a teen mom. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And so what I want to ask you is, how did you decide, instead of just helping your best friend when you were a teenager, to spread that outreach to multiple teen moms?
Yeah, I just, I was also on cheer, and there was about, I would say, at least like four more girls that were my friends that also were pregnant. And so it wasn't only her. And I just thought, wow, like there's a need more than just for my friend. And just because of that, I just really thought I just had the idea, like there needs to be like a group. If we all got these girls together and did something fun with them in a group, that sort of was the inspiration for Generation Her. And what I'm doing now was just, seeing that there were more girls and there was a need, and there was absolutely nothing back in my day was, before the Teen Mom Show. And there was nothing back then for teen moms. So yeah, just out of that whole idea.
So what was the process of going from noticing that there was a need to actually starting Generation Her?
Well, that took about 15 years later. um, and me, growing up. So after I graduated high school, I went to college at Biola University. And then after that, I became like a youth pastor, youth worker with junior high students. And as those girls that I was working with in the junior high ministries, as they were getting into high school, we saw a handful of them getting pregnant as well. And so all those, 15 years later, I just thought, there needs to be like, now is the time. Now I'm older. Now I have, the education behind me. I have the resources. And I think now is the time where I want this to come to fruition. So the church that I was working at, they actually had like a little group with those girls. They were starting one. And so I said, I want to be involved in this. And so when I became involved in it, and I just loved it. I loved it so much. And I just knew, okay, this is what I need to do next in my life, and full time, and make this something, not just here at my church, but something everywhere for all young moms to experience and be a part of.
That's great, because it leads me into my next question. So as a youth pastor and working in youth ministry, do you feel like being in that environment has taught you things that have helped you along your way since you've been growing, and also in helping these girls?
I did not hear the last part of the question because it went blank.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was just asking
Sorry,
if being a youth pastor has aided you in your journey.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely it has. Working with the youth, I was creating programs and curriculum, and that's basically the same thing that I'm doing now. Plus, like the boring stuff of being a director of a nonprofit, like the nuts and bolts kind of stuff. But my heart is just being hands-on with the girls, with the moms, with the kids, and creating programs and creating curriculum for them, just to help them grow and to serve them, and to grow as young women, to grow as mothers, to grow as amazing people that are going to be launched out into society. So yeah, it definitely helped me a lot.
And how do teens become involved in your program? Is there a sign up, or is it word of mouth? How does that work?
Yes, so they can, as any way that they find out about us, whether it be social media, through a friend, through a doctor, a nurse, their school, a social worker, through WIC, all they have to do is just text us, and we get them enrolled. It's very, very easy. And then they can just be a part of our program, whether it be online. If they live out of state, they can be a part of our online programs that we have virtually through Zoom, or if it's in person, they just text to sign up. And then once they come to our program, we just get them enrolled. They just fill out a paper. So it's a very easy process.
What are some things that girls enrolled in your program can expect to get out of it in terms of like curriculum and things like that?
Yeah, so we teach life skills classes. So what they will expect to learn is a skill. And that can be anything. We try not to repeat a class within a whole year's time because we have the same girls taking multiple classes. So it could be, we do cooking classes, it could be parenting class, it could be about jobs and how to create your resume, it can be like a self-help, self-discover class, it could be a relationship class, it can be like a craft or something fun like that. So the sky is the limit. They will, whether they attend one program or all of the programs or some of the programs, they will be learning a different thing each time. And then also we give free diapers and we have mentors. So they will also gain, those kind of like other benefits through coming to our program or being a part of it.
I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. And I want to ask is, because being a teen parent in any form is a touchy subject for some people. So are you receiving any backlash or have you heard any negative commentary from what you're trying to do to help these girls?
I would say in the beginning, we've been around for 12 years now. We're just approaching our 12th year right now. And I would say back in the beginning, when I first started Generation Her, it was still very taboo of a topic. Teen pregnancy was, then the Teen Mom Show came out and it started becoming like, I feel like the Teen Mom Show made people aware of the everyday life in a sense, but it also made people think about a population that nobody was really thinking about. Everybody was sending them to different schools and brushing them under the rug. And I feel like it brought this population to light. And so what was your question?
Have you been seeing any backlash?
Oh, yeah. So I think based on like that, there are sometimes people that say, oh, well, why would you help them? And then, but my opposite side to that is like, well, why wouldn't we, and we're not in a sense helping them. Our whole motto is if you teach somebody, or if you if you give a fish for a day, you're feeding somebody for a day. If you feed them to fish, you are helping them for a lifetime. You're feeding them for a lifetime. And so that's what I say to the people who are like, well, why are you helping these girls? They got themselves into this own situation or whatever it is. Okay, yeah, but right, everybody gets themselves into some sort of situation at one point or another. And with what we're doing is just teaching these girls how to feed themselves for a lifetime. So yeah.
And I noticed that you've gotten attention in the media and other things like that. So how has all that helped grow Generation Her?
Yeah, it's definitely brought some much needed positivity on this population and this subject and this just our girls, it's the situation that they're in. A lot of our girls are just judged all day, where they go on the bus and they're judged, they go to the doctor and they're judged, they go to they go to the park, they take their child to the park and they're judged. And so I just feel like the media attention helps us shine a light that these girls are not, the popular thing to think about them is that they're their at-risk youth or their juvenile delinquents, and just, knowing what our organization does and how we work with them, and then just seeing stories of our girls. It just helps people to know that they are just regular girls, and they are hardworking, they are brave, they are courageous, they are great moms, they're good students. And so I feel like the media attention brings us brings the positive side out of these girls' lives and their situation.
Did you ever expect that when you started this, that it would grow into what it has? I saw that you kind of started to do expansions around California, and I don't know, do you have plans of maybe expanding past that? Just what are your thoughts about the growth of the program?
Well, my first, when 12 years ago, when I sat down and did a business plan, my plan was to have 2 locations in the first 5 years. Well, back then, teen parenthood and teen pregnancy, what is that, an all-time high? And little did I know, I had 5 locations within the first 2 years, just because I made one, and then another city was like, what are you doing over there? Come and do it over here. And then another city and a school district. And so it just was, such a huge need that wasn't being met. And so they were just popping up everywhere and growing faster than even I could keep up at the time. And now, since we're virtual, it actually has helped us out, because now girls can just log on from anywhere in the country and easily be a part of our services. So it's really, yeah. COVID is, bad, but good. Like, some good things have come out of it, because we're still expanding. And because of COVID, we're able to expand to virtual and more. But yes, we are planning on opening another location in the Long Beach area in the next year-ish. So.
What have you learned since you've started this, just from growing, having base level knowledge and experiencing it firsthand? What have you learned from then until now?
As a part of running the organization, or through just working with the girls, in which way do you mean, or any way?
Just overall.
Overall. I think I've learned that there are a lot of good people in the world. There's a lot of generosity going on. There is a lot of humanitarianism. There's a lot of people who are I just had this random idea that nobody was doing, right? I'm going to do a program for teen moms. And there were so many people that made this happen with me. It wasn't just me. I couldn't have done this all by myself. So it was the generosity of people who donate money. It was the generosity of people who give their time, our staff, our mentors. I mean, we're primarily volunteer run. So it's just how generous people are. I've learned. I just thought, gosh, this is going to be hard, but really a whole village has come around and made this happen with me. It wasn't me at all. I couldn't have done all of this. So that's what I've learned is the biggest thing, is that just how generous people are and how willing they are to give.
Do you get to have personal connections with the girls? I know you're in charge, but how much hands-on time do you get with the girls in the program?
I'm very hands-on. I have the girls texting me my cell phone every day, just because that's my passion, is working hands-on with the girls. They have my cell phone number. I talk to them at any time. If any of them need to talk, if any of them, whatever it is, if they need diapers, they can text me. So yeah, I'm so hands-on, because that is why I do this. That's my favorite part. I never want to be the director who's all the way over here and doesn't, know what's going on with the girls or with, the organization. I teach the classes, I make the curriculum. I'm at every single class with the girls. So yeah, that's my favorite part.
How would you say that this program impacts girls when they're aged out and when they're adults with children?
Yeah. So we have a lot of girls now, because we're at the point where they're reaching our age. We stop at 25. So a handful of girls I have taken and made them mentors to serve in Generation Her and to give back to our younger girls who are now getting pregnant and coming into the program. I have one girl who was in our program. She's on our board of directors. And then the other girls, I still keep in contact with a lot of them, and they just tell me how they're doing. They give me fun updates, and I know that the program has worked because I just see the fruits of it through their life. They are in their career that they wanted to have. They are getting married, they're owning homes, they're starting families outside of their first child. So I just see success happening all around with all of these young, amazing girls.
My internet is getting a little rocky, so if you're struggling to hear me, just let me know.
Okay.
But what is one thing that you want people to take away from this story once it comes out?
I just think I feel like you asked me to do this because I'm inspiring, but I'm not the one. I feel like it's the girls. These girls are in a tough situation. They're finding themselves so young and pregnant, and they have a choice to make, right? What am I going to do now? Am I going to give up because everybody tells me, your life is over, you got pregnant, like now your life is over? And so they're just faced with such a rough choice and a rough decision and just a tough spot. So I feel like they are the ones that are the inspirations. They're the ones that are inspiring me to keep doing this because they're doing the hard work. They are there in the trenches with their babies crying every day and trying to find food and diapers and jobs and clothing and all the stuff it takes to raise a human being. They're trying to find resources as well as just, be their own person and not get lost in their motherhood. So I feel like they are the ones that are the inspiration behind the whole concept of Generation Her and what we're doing, because they're the ones that are inspiring and changing their lives and their future and their baby's future for that next generation.
Do you feel that this program has taken or changed people's view on teen pregnancy? Do you feel like it's helped not maybe put a positive spin on it, but to make girls feel like you're still a person and you can still do all these things?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Not only, I feel like a lot for our participants. So when the girls come, they're just so beaten down sometimes just by all the negativity around them, sometimes from their families, from their teachers, their doctors, all the people around them are just so negative. But I have girls that say, this Generation Her is the first place that I have come where somebody believed in me, where somebody gave me hope and said, no, like you're going to be just fine. Nothing is going to be bad, and we tell them a baby is a blessing. Your life is just going to look different. It's going to maybe a little harder, right? You're going to have to overcome some obstacles to get to where you want to be. But again, some of them are like, my baby saved my life because I would have been in jail, some of them maybe, and my baby kept me on like the straight and narrow road. So yeah.
What's one of the hard parts that people don't see besides, what's portrayed on like your website, but what's one of the hardest parts for you?
The hard part for me or for like the organization? For me?
You and the organization.
For me, it's very like emotionally challenging. I always tell our staff that they are hands-on too. They are making phone calls with these girls every week, and we're just in their lives. That's our goal, is to be in their life. So the hard part for me is the emotional toll that just that it takes, because a lot of their stories or their situations are very difficult. You know, they maybe have incarcerated boyfriends, incarcerated parents, abusive situations. A lot of them are in foster care themselves, and then their babies as well. It's just poverty, cycles of toxic parenting, cycles of violence that we're trying to break. There's a lot of tough things that we are trying to get these girls through, and that just takes an emotional toll on me sometimes and our staff, just because it's always so heavy. You know, their situations are so heavy sometimes. And so like for me, I just have to make sure that I am doing self-care. And if I need to talk to people about it, just to get out like the heaviness, or if I need therapy at a certain time, just to take care of my mental health also, as I'm running Generation Her, because it's just a lot of heavy things that we're dealing with.
And getting down to the last couple of questions here. How far do you want to go? How far do you hope to take this?
I always get asked that, and I honestly it's already farther than I ever thought. And before I started Generation Her, I was sort of a slacker, to be honest. And I just want to take it day by day. And as it grows, I know that something is next and something is big. And I know it's going to keep growing, because the need is always, always here. Even though teen pregnancy has declined, there's still a lot of moms to work with, a lot of girls. So I never want to be at a place where we have to turn girls away. I never want to say, you can't come because we're maxed out. I always want to have every girl who wants to come, we have space for them. So that's just my goal, and just to keep growing in, the number of girls that we serve and the quality of programs that we're giving to them.
And lastly, is there anything about the program, about yourself, that you want readers to know that you feel like I missed, or you just feel like it's very important?
I just feel like these, I love my job. I would not be wanting to do anything else in the whole world. This is like what I was created to do. And these girls are just the most loving and sweet and cute mommies. They just, there's a lot of statistics that fall around them, but a lot of it is also like the life situations that they find themselves in that is of no choice to them. I just feel like they're just amazing, hardworking young girls, and I love them. And I'm so blessed to be able to work at Generation Her every day. I'm always like, I love Generation Her so much. It's like my life. I love it. I don't even feel like I have a job, because it's like my passion. I love it. So, yeah.
So, that was.
Thank you for listening. Continue to listen and support our journalism. Continue at WeINSPIRE and support our journalism. Hit us up on all our social media for daily inspiration. Hit us up on all our social media for daily inspiration. Nothing but the good news.